Thor Love and Thunder, the brand new film coming out in the MCU, and this film is the return to one of the OG Avengers, and that is Thor, Odin's son. And it was kind of weird that they announced, hey, we're doing a full Thor film, just because like they were really having home, like Iron Man's gonna have a trilogy, Captain America's gonna have a trilogy, Thor's gonna have a trilogy. But my guess, Ragnarok happened, and you want more of that type of style, that type of sense of humor, more of that. So they're like, hey, Taika Waititi nailed it the first time. Let's see if he can nail it again. And at Comic-Con 2019, when they announced the title of the movie and announced this one element that got people really excited, and that is seeing Natalie Portman back as Jane Foster, but she's going to become the Mighty Thor, which was a thing that happened in the comics in 2014, where Thor, Odin's son, lost his powers, lost his hammer, lost all his abilities, but the hammer went into someone other's hand, this mysterious woman, and got revealed that it was Jane Foster. And now, with Jane, there's a certain element to her character, and it does happen in this movie, but I do not want to spoil it, but people may say, well, that happens in the comics. But here's the thing. Not many people read the comics. We're kind of like, or at least know about the comics. May not read them, but they know it. For example, like I remember when Winter Soldier was coming out, and all us comic book people were like, oh, Bucky, Bucky this, Bucky that, and all the non-comic book readers are like, oh, great, thank you guys. Thank you for spoiling that Bucky Barnes is alive, and he's Winter Soldier. Thank you. I actually spoiled Gwen Stacy's death in the same manner, because in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, with me stating the old comic book joke, which was everyone's going to come back to life unless you're Spider-Man's girlfriend or Uncle Ben, which kind of is dated, knowing we have Spider-Gwen. But back to Jane. I'm not going to talk about that element in a lot of detail, not even mention what it is, just for people who don't know the comics, but will be very shocked of how, because there is that sense of curiosity about, like, this is going to be a comedy more likely, like the same as Ragnarok. How are they going to handle it without making it so yuck? And what this movie is able to do, like, here's the thing, a lot of people are going to talk about the humor. I mean, it's a Taika Waititi film. That's going to be naturally what you're going to talk about. It's going to be about humor. It's going to be talk about how the jokes are handled. Did you laugh? Did you like it? All that kind of stuff. But one thing I will say this is because a lot of people will talk about how goofy the movie is. It's more goofy than Ragnarok. But for me, it's more emotional than Ragnarok. It is a very emotional movie because of the stuff that's happening with Jane, the stuff dealing with Gore, the God Butcher, who's our villain, played by Christian Bale, who's fantastic, by the way. But, it is Christian Bale, so what do you expect? But the thing about Gore, like, his whole thing is, he's upset with the gods. He is blaming the death of his family, of his daughter, on the gods. Like, you have betrayed me, and I'm going to kill every single one of you. And he has a bigger goal, but I'm not going to spoil that. But that's his main crux. I mean, it's in his title. His name is Gore, and he's butchers gods. It's kind of straightforward. But it is so dive in emotional pull that you are so invested with the character in that. In this movie, he is mysterious. There's a sense of dread. There's a sense of horror to him. There's a scene where there's a bunch of these characters who are captured, and when he appears, his eyes are just lighting up with these like yellowy type eyes, and it's like horror level stuff. Like, it's not like a Doctor Strange level horror, but it's like you feel that presence, you feel that fear, you feel that angst that this character has, and it's really well put together. And because of it, the humor's is there to make us go, oh god, so it doesn't become a depressing movie. So it doesn't become like Oh god, jeez. Yes, I know this is happening to that character, that's happening to that character, but we're able to, joke along the way, but still be serious at the same time. And I think Taika Waititi is able to find that balance, and I felt that this movie kind of really did that. Now, if you're worried that because of Jane becoming Thor, that Thor's going to be overshadowed by his own movie, because here comes Jane. Jane's the main Thor. Maybe she's going to be. Maybe this movie is a Passing the Torch film, and she's our new Thor. All we know, right? It is a Thor movie. And here's the weird thing about this movie. It ends in such a way that I felt like, I kind of, as much as I really enjoyed this movie, and I kind of prefer this over Ragnarok, I feel like I don't want to see a Thor 5. I feel like the story is now completed with Thor. The character, how it ends, it just feels right as this is the nice little bow. And the second post-credit sequence, I'm like, I smell Disney Plus series. But with the emotional stuff, I've been talking about all the other characters. I've been mainly talking about Jane and Gore. But what about Thor himself? I felt that his story is, as much of there's humor and there's a sense of jokiness towards it. There is that sense of, who am I? Where am I? Where is my place in the world? And where, after now, I can't be the king of Asgard because, Valkyrie is, my brother's dead, everybody I know is dead. The Avengers are just something. I don't know who I am outside of just Thor, the mighty Thor who will swing down and save the battles. Outside of that, who am I? And it's just that way and that story. Each character, mainly the main three characters, which is Thor, Jane, and Gore, all have a really emotional arc that really makes this movie sing. I mean, this movie's a couple seconds off of hitting 2 hours. And it just sings so smoothly, and this has the right amount. It's able to be very quick paced. It feels not quick paced, but in a very satisfying way that makes me go, this is a really well done movie. The humor in this movie, there's moments the Jane, yeah, that's just, and even in context, I get the idea is meant to be Jane, is that you? I understand that part of things, but you got this humor thing of not just Thor seeing 2 exes, his actual ex, which is Jane, and he's seeing Mjolnir, and he has Stormbreaker, and Stormbreaker is feeling a little bit jealous because Thor's all Hammer, come back into my hand, come today, come on. And Stormbreaker is hello, I'm here, are you gonna use me? It's Thor's in a relationship, but is still hung up on his ex. Which is actually true, he's still hung up on his ex, both of them in a way. So, yeah, this movie is good, it's great. As I said, I kind of want a Thor fight. I just feel like the story for Thor has ended, and kind of happy to see, be with other characters, maybe in the Thor world, maybe a Valkyrie show, maybe a show. But that mid-credit sequence could lead up to other possibilities. Maybe that Disney Plus show I was smelling with the post-credit scene. You never know. So, here's the thing. I do find that the MCU Phase 4 movies are a little bit more better than the shows. And I find the shows always okay. Outside of WandaVision, I find them pretty solid to okay. Hawkeye's maybe the only show that I went, this is not good, guys. You had a couple good spectacle episodes, but when it comes to the actual story, it's not that well. But next on the MCU calendar, in movie-wise, is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, which is a movie where we all say, what in the hell is this movie? We don't know, is Namor in the movie? Is he? I don't know. Who's the new Black Panther? I have no idea. I feel like they're trying to really like make sure like Miss Marvel doesn't overshadow Thor, make sure that She-Hulk isn't getting overshadowed by Black Panther, and I think certain things will be announced. Here's the thing, the Disney Plus series that I'm smelling, I think that's going to be announced on Disney Plus Day. I think that's going to be announced there. They got D23 and they got Comic Con, so they'll might hold something